What's up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Party XP. I'm your host, Jeff, and joining me as always is Lakan. Say hi, Lakan.
What up, everyone?
How's it going?
Good. Yeah, we're finally out of the snow storms.
Yeah.
I think we're officially done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank God.
I've had a stiff neck for the last like 4 days because it's shoveling again. And you remember like the old Batman where he couldn't turn his neck, so he had to like turn his whole upper body around?
Yes.
That's been me like the last couple of days. It sucks. It has been not a good time for me the last couple of days. Aside from that, pretty good.
That's also me for a different reason because I kept falling asleep in my son's room, so I fell asleep on a Snorlax and instead of like a pillow.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's been fun. Last night I managed to sleep in my own bed for 40 minutes.
Oh, good.
So that was great.
Good amount of time. But at least the weather's been getting nice. Like, it's, we've had a couple like slightly warmer days as of late.
Yeah.
Instead of having to like layer up with the hoodie and a jacket, just a hoodie. It was a solid 50 a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I was able to go out in shorts.
Yeah. It was like 49 or like it was approaching 49 the other day, and I was like, oh my God, it's shorts weather. Thank God. We're over it. We're done.
Yeah, I think we're on the little end trail of like second winter basically. So I think
Thank
we're
God.
okay now.
If I never see winter again, it'll be too soon. So, I have a fighting game for you.
As do I.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little dueling fighting game action here.
Yeah.
So I remember you saying a while back that you hadn't played much of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and I didn't blame you because the initial game looked really, really rough.
Yes.
Like really rough.
I recall being like, why does this one look so weird?
Because it was made with a shoestring budget and expected to sell gangbusters. Because Marvel and Disney suck mostly. Sponsor the pod.
Mhm.
And yeah, so the initial Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out like 7-8 years ago and wasn't well received because of the gameplay. I thought like the menus was like the most egregious thing because the menus looked like something I made. There, it looked very bare bones. There wasn't a lot of modes. There was a fully voiced story and everything, so they did put effort in certain places, but it just wasn't into the UI and the UX. Well, that's all changed. Luckily enough, about the thing about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, at least for me, is that the game was really fun. It just looked like crap, right? And it played beautifully. I thought it played like awesome. So here we go. 7 years later, a YouTuber by the name of Maximilian, a guy I think you know of pretty well, partnered with a couple of developers and an artist whose name is escaping me because of course it is, released Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond, which is basically a fan patch that changes the art style from like that drab, dreary Unreal Engine look to a more dynamic comic book look. It changes the music. Like the music is insane. Like how good the music is now in this game. Like the theme song is a banger. I hum it all the time, right?
Okay.
And they added some new game modes. There's like a cross tag mode or something like that. The big thing for me is like the new art style, the new music, and slight balance changes. They didn't like rehaul the game. They just fixed some stuff that was a little broken, maybe added some new things for some players, right? But it is basically a new game. It is a brand new game that like kind of like an Ultra Street Fighter 4 for Street Fighter 4 is basically what this has turned this game into. And it's really a masterpiece and a testament to what a group of dedicated and passionate fans can do. And I really love it. Like I love that this whole thing exists. I mean, they updated the costumes. They updated like the character select art. There's like little nods. So one of my favorite things is like if you have the alternate costumes for the characters, they updated the alt costumes too. So for instance, Zero, right? If you have Zero's alternate costume, it's Virgil because of the Marvel 3 team of Zero May Cry.
Yeah. Sick. Okay.
And a few other things. They have like the like punk rock Spider-Man. They have like I have Venoms, I think, and Venoms is different. It's like the not Ultimate Marvel, but it's like the one of the from the comics. They have a what's his name? Winter Soldier
Mm.
is a they have like the oh my god, who's the guy that Sebastian Stan? They have like a full like Sebastian Stan from Winter Soldier, the movie, of him with like the wife beater, the white wife beater, and the jeans on.
Okay. Is wife beater still a term we use today?
I don't know, but that's what I'm calling it.
Okay. I'll go with tank top, but okay.
Good to know. Good thought.
I
Yeah,
just,
good
I was
thought.
thinking, I was like, huh. Never haven't heard that term in a while.
All right. Well, it's anti-Italian discrimination if you don't.
Oh,
Call
you're
it
right.
wife
You're right.
beater,
Sorry,
so.
sorry for
Or a guinea tea. You can call it a guinea tea.
Okay, wow. I'm not saying that, but you can say that.
I can. Hey, it was on Hanes' official packaging for a while. So,
Oh, true.
like,
That is very true. That's also kind of crazy.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So they have like a full like jacked up arm Winter Soldier costume in this game if you want to
Okay.
play as him and stuff like that. All in all, this is just a tremendous love letter to not just Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but Marvel vs. Capcom as a franchise.
Mm.
Because I mean, look at the guy behind it. I mean, Max is like a huge Marvel vs. Capcom fan,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's really incredible to see what he and this team has done. I wish I had the other person's name, like the lead artist behind this, because they are really something. They made a really special project here. It's really awesome. But yeah, I think you'd really like it. You can download the mod at mvcib.com. Version 1.1b released back in June, and that's like the newest version of the game. So you can check it out.
Okay, sick. Yeah, like I've heard about this a little bit, obviously from you, and then like once you mentioned it, again, I want to say it was like late last year you talked about it, or we talked about. It. I think we definitely talked about it on the pod at one point, like just
Yeah,
like a quick touch on it.
yeah,
Where like I've seen like because I watched Max of course like on YouTube, right? He's kind of like one of those guys. I'm like, oh, he's got a cool video out from like 5 years ago. I'll check it out. Why not?
right.
And I've seen like the MVCI like MVCIB videos, and I'm like, I have no idea what that is. Like I've never played that one, so I'm like, whatever. Not realizing it's the patch or mod that he did basically. But yeah, I haven't watched like dove too deep into it, so I'm curious to check it out because again, I did play a little bit of Infinite, and it was just like I was like, this is not for me. So if a couple changes to kind of like freshen up or like tighten up the gameplay a little bit makes the game much puts the game in a much better state. Yeah, super interested to see how that plays out actually.
For sure. So what do you have for me?
So I'm gonna throw you on some weeb shit, right?
Oh fuck! Do I have to play Under Night?
No, we're not going that deep. We're actually going pretty basic footsies kind of anime aesthetic fighting game here.
Okay.
The game I'm gonna toss over your way is Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we're not going that deep. As much
Okay.
as I love me, a Mountain Dew cracked out anime fighter, this one's actually a pretty tame in my opinion. Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising, or GBVR, is a 2D fighting game developed by Arc System Works and published by Cygames. It was based on the Japanese RPG gacha mobile game Granblue Fantasy. Technically, a sequel to 2020's Granblue Fantasy Versus.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why I'm giving you Rising and not Versus. So initially, when the game was in development, Tetsuya Fukuhara, the creative director for Granblue Fantasy Versus and Rising, along with Cygames, wanted to bring the Granblue Fantasy world to a Western audience, right? But they thought that like maybe dropping like Western newcomers into an ongoing storyline would be difficult to like latch onto the universe. So they opted into a fighting game due to confidence in the popularity in the fighting game genre with Western audiences, where the stories can be consumed in smaller segments and personal character story bits. Makes sense, right? You can kind of like just pick up the story by playing the story mode or whatever from each individual character. Granblue Fantasy Versus, right? Specifically the first one, not Rising. Versus was developed with the accessibility in mind, sharing design philosophies with previously developed titles from Arc System Works, such as Dragon Ball Fighters or Fighter Z, right? And Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which we played both of those. Like we both had a little bit of time into those ones, but also branching away from those games' respective gameplay in some aspects. This is a Magic Series game, I think that's the term, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Magic Series-esque control scheme, and also uses directional input specials along with motion input specials. I know we've had to talk about this offline before about your preference for motion input specials.
Right.
There's a bit of a little bit of extra details here. I'm gonna drop in a bit. So most of the gameplay from Granblue Fantasy Versus and Versus Rising stays relatively intact. Granblue Fantasy Versus / Rising actually utilizes like shorter combos, relatively like simple combo setups and strings, right? There are some longer stuff here, but for the most part, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Sham Show, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Yeah, like not as crazy high damage as Sam Show, where like like two heavies can kill you basically. But the combos here are relatively shorter, a little bit easier to kind of like get the meaty part of the combos down.
Yep. Okay.
So initially, when waiting for this quote unquote update from the Granblue Fantasy Versus community, all they really wanted was rollback netcode, because the first one did not have rollback netcode. And it was really rough to play online.
Right.
And then when Versus Rising update came out, they added new simple single button combo inputs called the triple attack, so kind of like the auto combos, right? They added rollback netcode, a couple visual updates, crossplay, and lobby-based mini / side games outside of the main 1v1 or versus mode or story mode.
Wow. Okay.
So here's the fun detail about the technical versus the technical or manual inputs versus the directional inputs, right? So technical or manual inputs give 10% extra damage while in neutral.
Okay. Wow.
So basically, as long as the special is not canceled into. So this is particularly useful for things such as raw supers in neutral, projectiles, gap closure specials, like people who have like jump ins kind of thing, right?
Right.
To essentially get the free damage boost. Again, when in neutral. During combo, both input methods behave exactly the same. So at that point, you can just use whichever one you prefer. So when this game, the quote-unquote sequel came out, right? Because again, technically it's a sequel. Tetsuya expressed desire to create a sequel. They were uncertain whether the game was going to get a PS5 upgrade with minor updates, because again, it was on PS4 to PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, it was decided to be a full sequel. And Rising was announced at Granblue Versus Cygames Cup special in January 2023. And then initially scheduled to release on November 30th, 2023, but it was pushed back about like 2 weeks, back to December 14th for some additional fine tuning. And around there is when I first heard like my coworker telling me about it, because I remember we played Versus, and then he mentioned Versus Rising, and I was like, oh, it's the same game, right? Because I didn't click with the differences or whatever. And that's kind of like when I fell into it, like maybe like a month later after the game came out. Where I was like, oh, this is like a little bit tighter than I previously experienced, and some more, obviously there's a couple visual updates that did feel very nice to see. It's an anime aesthetic fighter, but it's kind of like not a back to basics per se, but it is not as crazy as you would assume from like a Strive or a Under Night or so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It from what I've seen of it, like I've watched it. I watched it at Evo when it was on main stage. It looks like a slower paced anime fighter, which is pretty cool. I like the fact that I get to play neutral in a fighting game.
Mm-hmm.
Developed rather recently, so that's always nice. Yeah, I think it'll be a nice little dichotomy of a game that's been very well received and is kind of like existing on its own here, versus a game that had a legacy brand behind it, fell on its face, and now is this is like a fan game, basically like the fans propped it back up. So it's kind of like we're on both sides of the coin here as far as how games were received. Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool. So I'm excited. I know you're excited. So I think the best thing to do is to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, listeners, there will be a short break here. For us, it'll be about a week or two, and for you guys, it'll be about 5 to 10 seconds. And when we see you on the other side, we'll see how we feel about each other's respective games.
See you then. All right, it's been a minute. We're back. Lakan, how was Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond?
I was getting my shit kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
The people who play this game have not stopped playing this game.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, it was very good. I very much so enjoyed my time with it. I've acknowledged before on probably multiple occasions, because I always forget what I've said or not. I am bad at tag fighters.
Yeah.
And anime fighters, I'm good at like 2 of them. This felt very, very good. You know, it reminded me a lot of the old original MVC, right? The 2v2 setup. But like, yeah, I just couldn't get anything rolling in this one, at least playing online. And also like this seems to be like a Discord game now, essentially, right?
Yes, it is.
Trying to find random players online through the online matchmaking was pretty rough. Like I found like 2 matches. So I had to find a Discord and play with some people there. But yeah, like in terms of like the gameplay itself, super snappy. There's a couple things that I still was trying to figure out when I first got into the game because it's like I wanted to like muscle memory default into like the MVC/MVC2 kind of like I was like okay cool. So it was like plink 4 times into air combo, right? That's like okay, that's kind of bread and butter for basically everybody. And then the branches from there got super like wide, and I was like, oh, there's a lot to do in this game.
Yes, there is.
Which is cool, but just trying to figure out what does combo, what accidentally ended combos for me, how to extend with tags. And I was like, oh god, this is gonna, like, I need to drop like 60 hours into this game to even like break the surface. And I want to say probably I got close like 20, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I got like 20-ish hours in. So over the week and a half or
Yeah.
so. Yeah, it's really fun, easy to pick up. Again, because especially having a little bit of that like legacy knowledge from the previous MVC games, which I also was not good at. You can attest to that. But it's a fun game to play. That's the biggest thing. Until again, I'm getting comboed for 120 hits, and I'm just watching my character get beaten to a corner. And I was like, when do I get to play the game?
Right. No, I understand.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of like the gameplay and stuff like that, the content. Story mode was a decent chunk of what I put into, obviously, because it takes about like 4 hours to get through or so, which is not terrible. It's pretty goofy.
It is.
But it's fun. You know, like I'm glad there's a story mode of some sort. Obviously, there's this is around that time where Capcom was trying to compete with like Mortal Kombat, right? With like NetherRealm Studios, are trying to make like a story mode that people actually care about. Which, to be fair, and like NRS is still like the best to do it right now currently in terms of the fighting game stuff, like non-versus content.
Exactly.
So they tried. They took a swing with it. It was really goofy. I find it funny that like every character had to name every other character whenever they meet them because like, oh well, we have the licenses to these names. We have to say them all the time. Whereas like Thor would be like like Mega Man X. Hello, how are you? Hello, Thor, God of Thunder. It's just like.
Jesus.
Captain. It's like every person has to say their full government every time, which was goofy. Again, it was campy. There were some genuinely cool bits in it that I really liked. But yeah, like that was like a decent chunk of my playtime, and then the rest of it was just trying to like do the combat trials and or the combo trials and play a little bit of online. I think I had a pretty good experience with a majority of the content of this game, so far.
The concept of Ultron Sigma is still pretty cool.
It does fucking rule.
It is pretty cool.
Because Sigma's a badass villain, and then Ultron is a pretty good villain in terms of like, specifically in the comics. In the movies, little lackluster in my opinion for the Avengers stuff. Yeah, like sick combo for the villain side.
Who did you end up playing as?
So I started off with like Ryu and Iron Man.
Okay.
Because that's like 2 pieces of my OG team back in MVC2. And then I was like, let me branch out a little bit. I messed with a little bit of Nova.
Okay.
So Nova was cool. Captain Marvel was pretty cool. I ended up playing mostly like Nova and Strider.
Okay.
That was kind of like my duo that I ended up going online with or competing with against other people.
That is like a top tier team, by the way. People play that.
Yeah, I know Nova's good, and I know Strider's pretty solid in this one.
Strider is always good in Marvel for whatever reason. He's just always a character people play. It might be a legacy pick, but
that's true. Could be possible.
But cool. Did you like the whole time stone or the whole stones thing? And which stone did you kind of pick up on?
For me, was time stone.
Okay.
Because for me, especially in an anime fighter, kind of game like this, more movement means more stuff to do. That's how my brain processes like hyper movement games. Because I play like Eunice. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, like there's so many ways to dash and like like move in and out, kind of weave in and out. The time stone kind of like tickled my brain in that fancy. And I was like, sick. That's all I wanted. And then I learned a little bit how to wave dash in this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, let me look up a little bit of tech to see what kind of goes on. And like seeing Ryu or Cap start doing backflips and like cancel the backflip animation, I was like, oh, this is kind of sick. This is fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't utilize it for shit, but it was just like fun to do. Yeah, Time Stone was probably my pick, and then after that, Space, because it was if I can just lock somebody into a corner.
Mhm.
I was like, well, I don't know a whole lot of air combos and how to transfer and connect combos from tagging in. So it's like if I can keep them here,
Right.
works out for me. Simplifies my game by like not having to worry about the air shit. Basically.
Exactly. No, I get it completely. Space Stone is basically the meta pick unless you're using Soul Stone,
Okay.
which is just you get to revive your character when it dies.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why people use Soul Stone. Like I
Got it.
use Soul Stone for that. But yeah, like everybody else uses either Space Stone or Power Stone. You get certain characters can utilize Power Stone pretty well because they can
Okay.
combo off of the
The projectile thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know some people use Reality. I've seen all of them used. I think Mind Stone is the one that I've seen used the least because it doesn't do anything like it's burst and it's surge, or like its storm and its surge
Okay.
aren't as strong as the other ones, but I've seen it once in a while. It's kind of like the P groove of this game. Like people use it to try to unlock it because nobody played with it when it was like when the game was relevant.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of what people are trying to do, but I don't think it's as good as P groove.
Got it. Okay. So they're like trying to figure out where's the sauce.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, like I only really played a couple matches online, maybe like 15. Again, and it was only with like 3 or 4 different people.
Yeah.
I basically found a group that was playing.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I saw mostly Space Stone, I believe,
Yeah.
when I was playing against them. They switched around. Yeah, I saw them when they were playing against each other and just kind of spectating them rocking the Soul Stone stuff and kind of like going for like a final surge of trying to like beat somebody down basically. So there's some cool stuff happening. Again, it was just like it's a lot when the game is so not figured per se, because obviously people are still trying to figure stuff out and learn stuff, especially because this is the patch, so things have changed. But like yeah, like there's a lot to dig through when you don't have. So it was hard. It was really slow for me to like pick up stuff and learn how to string things together.
I got you.
But yeah, there's a lot. Again, it's very dense. Like the amount of stuff in here is a lot.
And it doesn't help that, and I should have thought of this, but it was one of only 2 choices that I had. Really top of mind that I had sunk a lot of time into.
Yeah.
That it's basically a Discord fighter, like you said, and the only people really still playing it are established players.
Yeah.
So, like I should have known that, but I just thought like the patch looked cool, and I wanted to shout it out because it is a major letter of love.
Absolutely.
To a game that, like you said, looked like shit, but was really fun.
Yeah.
And I even said that. I mean, you remember when the game came out? Like I would play it.
Yeah.
I was on that shit.
Yeah, I
and I
remember.
was saying.
So was I. We played together
Yeah.
for a little bit, and then like I fell off super hard.
It's fun, but everything looks like I made it, and I have no UI design experience at all.
Graphic design is my passion.
Right, graphic design is my passion. Here it is. It's a blue menu with Arial font, and it just says character select main menu.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you take out the ugly bits, all that's left is a fun game now that looks really good.
Yeah.
I will say the voice acting didn't get changed, and the voice acting sucks.
It's rough. Yeah.
Gamora's voice acting is probably I feel bad for whoever the actress was that did this. Is probably the most annoying.
It's pretty annoying.
It's
bad,
especially when you like Gamora is one of the best characters in the game. So like you hear
her combos are
all
pretty
the
sick.
time,
Yeah.
right? And you hear the same combo all the time, and it's the same voice lines that
Same
aren't
with,
acted well.
Chun-Li is like when she gets hurt or hit sounds.
Yeah.
It's just like her like grunting or yelling, and it's like it gets really grating.
Yeah,
Like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like it's like I understand like you're getting hit for like 80 hit combos.
It's rough.
I also I noticed the voice of Mega Man X is the voice of Dan
Oh yeah,
from Street Fighter 4. Because I heard him talking and I'm like, this sounds like. I have to look it up. So I did a little bit of this.
I know
there we go.
this person.
Yeah, like the voice acting is not particularly great. Actually, for Nova's rules.
Yeah.
He like I don't know. I didn't look up who he was, who voiced him, but he committed to everything.
Yeah.
I was like sick.
Right.
Or it could have been. Was he in? He was in.
He was in Marvel
3, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So maybe I don't know if they pulled the same voice lines over or not, but
It wouldn't shock me. A lot of the assets were reused.
yeah,
From Marvel 3.
Yeah, I kind of.
But the
assumed.
problem was that they didn't have the shaders from Marvel 3. What's his name? Matt McMuscles does a great video on Marvel Infinite and basically talks about this. How a lot of the assets were ultimately reused from Marvel 3 to
Okay.
Marvel Infinite. But without the shading, they looked like shit. So
Got it.
that's why like the new characters look really good and the
Yeah.
old characters aren't so great,
Yeah, yeah.
even if they have some new animations and things like that, because they're basically just lifted from a game that came out almost a decade prior.
Got it. Okay,
So
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, again, I had a pretty solid time
Mhm.
with it. So, and again, I'm gonna probably dig in a little bit more, just because I like it's a pride thing. I was like, I gotta learn some sauce.
Right.
I gotta get something under my fingers aside from just the quadruple planks into the air, knockdown, and a single assist. You know what I mean? I want to
Yep.
extend. I want to actually extend combos. But yeah, like again, I had a pretty solid time with it. Again, not like I probably definitely could have played more. I got distracted halfway through because Slay the Spire 2 came out. But
Understood completely.
yeah, it's like I was like, as much as I tried to behave, I was like, but I could be slaying the Spire right now. I'm up here slaying my Spire at 3 a.m.
No shit.
The biggest thing that I would have to like again, like I absolutely praise the hell out of this fan patch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Again, after I finally finished the story mode, is one of the first things that I did. I did start digging into like the Maximilian dudes, like videos of him explaining what they did,
Yep.
how they did certain things, the issues they had to deal with, and trying to like get the okay from Marvel and Capcom to like fuck with their shit, basically. Watching some of the high level players, play
Oh
against
yeah.
each other, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ, I've not even skimmed this game. Like
No,
there's so much shit here.
there's a lot.
Like likely I'm never gonna get there. Like just straight up,
Mhm.
I'm not. I can't dig deep enough to get to that point.
You have a job, other interests,
Yeah, and
things like that.
I'm already at a negative. I'm already in a
Yep.
deficit at anime fighters, like
Uh-huh.
specifically tag fighters. So I was like, it's absolutely a blast to play. Again, like even like when like look kind of like playing it for that little bit of time I played with you early on when this first came out. There was a part of me that really enjoyed the game. It's just that it looked like shit.
Mm-hmm.
The voice acting was pretty rough, and there were some things that like I didn't like. Like they had what's it called, proximity guard in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which they still have in this one,
Mhm.
right? Because like I watched the Maximilian dude video. What he was talking about, like they removed it and it felt weird actually.
Yeah.
And he explained the reason for why it felt weird. It felt like like there was something missing because of that. And I was like, okay, so like I understand having it there. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of proximity guard. Whereas, like, oh, to explain to listeners, if you don't play fighting games, proximity guard is when your character. So this is a back to block game, right? You're holding back to block
Yeah.
against attacks. So if you're holding back and the opponent's character is across the map, but if they throw out an attack, your character will stop in place and go into the block like stance.
Right,
basically.
right. So yeah, it's kind of like certain moves jut out far enough so that even if it would whiff, you're still holding block.
And your character will stop from backing
Right.
up, which
Exactly.
is of course people learned how to get around it,
Right.
and played around it specifically. I just don't like, it's hard to get rid of all that
Yep.
muscle memory when I'm
Yep.
already a latecomer to this type of fighting game. It's really rough.
Yep. Understood.
But like yeah, overall gameplay very very cool, very fun. I think this is still like a blast to throw on. Like I think this could easily be in kind of like the specifically the patched version. Again,
Of course.
Beyond, specifically Beyond. I could see it being like in the class in like the pantheon of like an MVC2 would be like, oh, we played this when we were kids and we're gonna play it again now as a bit of nostalgia. Absolutely can be in that like, oh, this is way more fun than I remember it
Yeah,
being kind of thing.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
I agree. I think unfortunately people remember Chun-Li face, they remember functions. So again, backstory, the original trailer for this game, Chun-Li's face looked like just a
Very
hot
strange.
mess.
Very
Yeah,
strange. It
real
was-
hot mess. So people were killing it. And then at the time, the community manager for the game, Peter Rosas, also known as Combo Fiend, former Marvel 2 pro,
Mhm.
was basically put on the spot to be the fall guy
Oh,
for not
no.
having the X-Men in the game.
Okay.
And he was like, well, if you like Magneto, what does Magneto do? He's a fast character with 8-way air dash. You'll like Captain Marvel because characters as functions is such a big thing with this game, that yeah, like it wouldn't surprise me if I brought it up already the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you see what they're trying to do. Like
Yeah.
Captain Marvel is trying to replace Storm and Magneto, right?
Yeah,
As like
yeah.
that fast flyer.
Mhm.
Black Panther is trying to be Wolverine,
Mhm.
basically.
Yep.
You see that with a couple of other characters whose names are escaping me right now. Winter Soldier, you could technically kind of call Cable, but he's not as good.
Yeah.
But he's definitely not as good.
Absolutely not.
But you see it. You see it.
Mm-hmm.
As characters, as functions kind of thing here. I think that's what killed it originally. That at least what put a damper on it
Absolutely, it
originally.
did. Yeah, because when you play a game that has legacy behind it,
Right.
you're like you want the pieces that
Mhm.
made that game popular in the first place, especially when they're like at this point kind of tied to the identity of the game.
Right.
You want them to be there.
Right.
Perfect example, like the Street Fighter 3.
Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna make a Street Fighter game, and very late into the development, they put in Ryu and Ken because they're like, we need to put in at least one or two recognizable characters
Right.
among this cast of fucking weirdos.
Right. And that's the thing.
Same thing basically kind of happened here,
Yeah,
at least with
it
the
did.
initial release here, where like you're taking away the biggest characters, the really important characters, essentially the high tiers, basically.
But to be fair, what was the first Marvel quote unquote game was X-Men Children of the Atom.
Yes.
So Storm and Magneto, at the very least, Storm has been in every single game in this series. Same thing with, I'm pretty sure Magneto was in all of them too.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, as well.
And even Sentinel was in a lot of those games
Yeah.
too. So you figure that a character that has been in every single Marvel game isn't
Mhm.
here anymore. That's crazy.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Street Fighter.
Think of Street Fighter without Ryu.
Exactly.
Is basically what it is.
Yeah.
They made a Street Fighter game without Ryu.
Yeah. And like, and again, these are like, even if they're not like the main character, they're the face. Like they're
Right.
like we know these characters have been in this series for super long, and they're tied to it because a lot of them are happen to be top tiers as well.
Right.
And they're sick on top of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me you're gonna take out the sick, fun characters that everyone recognizes from this series,
Right.
and then quote unquote replace them or like stand in for them. It's like,
And it had to be Captain Marvel too.
Yeah.
That they were doing it. Who the character and the actress had their own issues.
yeah, there's a
right,
lot of
in the
controversy
movies,
around it.
right.
Yeah.
Just people not liking
Yeah,
Captain Marvel.
Which also to give Captain Marvel her props in this game, she's fucking sick in this game.
She's fun.
She's super fucking
Right.
fun. But she's not.
She's not Magneto.
Yeah, she's not Magneto.
She's not Oops Scoop Haagen-Dazs where your curly mustache
Yeah,
at.
exactly.
Pringles, right?
Yeah, she's not.
She's not that.
Again, obviously there were clearly some choices here. There was definitely a lot of like corporate meddling with this.
Oh yeah.
And especially because this came out around the time where the Marvel cinematic universe was really exploding, really ramping up.
It was rocking.
Because obviously the inclusion of the Infinity Stones in this game
Yep.
was kind of a tease because it's not treated exactly the same as obviously how they were in the MCU. Core of the game, there were like bones of a good game in there.
Definitely.
It just required quite
Getting
a bit
over a
of
lot of
bit of fine tuning
Right.
to get it to that really
Right.
really good point.
The paint was ugly. The car
Yeah.
ran great. But
Yeah.
the paint was ugly.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that basically what it is? Yeah, and it also kind of felt like, and if you watch that Matt McMuscle's video, like, and you learn about the inner workings of everything, you'll get an
Mhm.
idea of this. Every other Marvel versus Capcom game felt like a collaboration.
Yes.
This felt like Disney telling Capcom what they're
Yeah.
gonna do, what
Yeah,
they're gonna
yeah.
put in the game, and that Marvel needs to be the winner in all of
Mhm.
this. Like
Yeah.
Marvel needs to win. And this is also, remember too, when Capcom was struggling with Street Fighter V.
Yes.
So this isn't Capcom now.
no.
This is
This is a rough stretch.
this is a rough Capcom stretch too. So Capcom is not in a position to push back at
Yeah.
Marvel at all. So like
this is more obviously Marvel post Disney acquisition.
Yeah.
They're at the top of the box office every time they drop a movie.
this is right before Infinity War
yes.
drops. It's the same year
This is
Infinity
massive.
War drops. Right.
Disney holds all the cards here, basically.
Right. So this was supposed to come out before Infinity War. Ended up coming out after Infinity War, I think.
Okay.
But either way, like still, like Capcom is punching up, trying to get this game to be halfway decent.
Yeah.
And Marvel is just beating them into the ground because of
Got it.
Disney.
Okay.
Disney is beating Capcom into the ground. Which is funny because you think back 20 years prior, and they're working together on like the Mickey Mouse games, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Aladdin and all of that,
Yeah.
right? Like Capcom published those games, I think, right? Aladdin, wasn't it? No, so SNES Aladdin was developed by Capcom,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure like the Lion King too. I don't know.
Possibly.
No, this was Virgin Interactive.
Virgin.
But
that's what it was, okay.
you know, like Capcom worked with Disney on a lot of games in the past.
Yes, yes.
So like I it's just funny to see how that relationship had changed over
Very
the
much so.
years, and it just everybody could see the corporate meddling kind of going into this game.
Yeah.
And this is again when the cinematic universe is starting to take off, and they are extra salty with 20th Century Fox for not letting them use the
Yes.
X-Men characters.
Yeah.
So they are beating the X-Men characters into the ground. They are canceling series. They are trying to get you to forget that X-Men ever existed. Also that Fox would sell them the rights back. And ultimately, they ended up doing it. And I'm sure if Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite comes out today versus back then, it's a much different game. It's probably more well received.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably. It's a lot of what could have been. But like you said, like there's a really fun game here.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see what you thought about it with a new coat of paint.
Yeah. So
anything else on your end?
I wanted to touch on one last thing. It's a little bit of a look forward.
I have one last thing too. So
okay.
Go ahead. You go
first. Marvel Tokon.
Yeah.
Okay, are we in the same boat here or no? Possibly.
I think it looks cool.
Okay,
I'll give it a shot.
So Marvel Tokon is the next, not MV anything.
No,
it's just Marvel game.
It's a Marvel themed. It's a Marvel
anime fighter.
Yeah.
So it's
developed by Arc System Works.
Yes, so Arc System Works now. Yep. So basically, Goku's holding this one together as well.
Yep.
I've still heard like mixed things in terms of reception of how the game feels. They just dropped a recent update to the like a bunch of patches to the the beta essentially.
Yeah, the demo that they've been bringing around,
where they like reduce certain things to make things feel a little smoother to play.
Yeah.
So looking at it now, that is technically the next MV whatever game.
Marvel game. Marvel fighting game.
Yeah, again, no longer associated with Capcom.
Right.
So I'm looking at that. When is like the idea that that's going to be essentially our next Marvel anime fighter? Do you think another Marvel versus Capcom game even happens in the future?
I'll never say never, is what I'll say.
Okay.
But as of right now, probably not.
Okay.
Especially if Tokon does well. It probably won't happen for a while.
They kind of hang out with Arc System Works for a little bit.
I'll never say never. Because, you know what? They love money.
That is
Everybody loves money.
Yeah.
So if they need the money, they'll be like, hey, how you doing?
And especially with the fact that Capcom is now kind of like they've had a bunch of hits in a row,
right? And they might have another one with this the girl robot game,
Pragmata. Yeah.
Pragmata, yeah.
Capcom's kind of killing it, like they're like top in terms of like reception of games. Their games have been pretty damn quality as of late as well. And like obviously their Street Fighter 6 is going insanely strong still. Yeah. So
please ignore the fact that Alex may or may not have married his second cousin in game.
What do you mean? I'm a fucking DJ, and I'm like, it's so funny how people are so angry about it. I'm like, I don't care. Like I don't care about the story whatsoever of Street Fighter. I just want to play cool character.
Right.
I would like to see like in the future, especially now with Marvel's current, I guess, like mindset, especially the people who are currently leading the Street Fighter games, or whoever. Obviously it's gonna be a different development team probably if they do this again. But it'd be cool with a different mindset, or the modern Street Fighter mindset, or modern Capcom fighting game mindset, to see what they do with another like crossover game.
I agree. We're probably gonna get CVS 3 first, because now
that's the one thing I wanted to. They kind of like touched into that as well too.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna get CVS 3 first. Thanks to the Saudi Arabian government, and if that's the case, listen, just give me the fucking garb. I'll go over. I don't give a shit.
Don't take it.
If the Crown Prince gives me CVS 3, I'm sorry.
I'm caving, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. That motherfucker's gonna pay me a lot of money to go shill this fucking game, and I am going to do it because children are expensive. You can pay if you are sitting there and you are listening and you are like, oh, you're a sellout. You can pay for my son's daycare, motherfucker. I am going to fucking give MBS a fucking handshake and get.
But I'm gonna shake my head no while I'm doing it.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna be like, yeah, give me more money, motherfucker. What's the difference? What's the difference between
every other terrible group that owns everything else?
Right, the blood he spilled versus the blood America spilled. Fuck that, dude. Anyway,
that's another thing as well, because there's a lot of rumors right now with the CVS, a next CVS game coming out, which would be cool because I've never really dove into those games because I'd never really played on SNK stuff. So it'd be cool to finally get into it.
I should have just given you that shit.
I basically told you flip the coin when we get there. So I was like, whatever, this is what we got. It's cool. I'm still willing to dive into it at some point.
Spoilers for the story. How funny is Thanos channeling the Satsui no Hano at the end of the story?
I was like, that is pure fan service, and I'm all here for it.
It's the funniest fucking
I love
shit.
it. I love it so much right at the end. It's
the last thing is him firing up a Metsu Hadouken. I'm like, what is happening?
I loved it so much. I love fan service. Like, people like shit on like the idea of fan service. No, this is what I want. It's me being a fucking nerd of like, I want this character to do this character shit. Captain America picking up Thor's hammer is fucking sick. This is the same shit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're playing the fan service video game.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to expect?
Give me all of it.
Right.
I don't give a fuck.
I know. I agree. I agree.
I want, like, bro, if I could see fucking, if I could have seen, like, I don't know who's like the tool character, like the weapons character in like a Capcom game, I guess. If fucking Strider could pick up Captain's shield if he gets knocked to the ground, that would have been insane. Like, I would have fucking loved that shit. So, you know, shit like that, give me it, all of it.
Right. Ryu picking up Thor's hammer would have been
oh my god, that would have been awesome.
Right? The chosen one.
Exactly, dude. Like, if he's pure of heart, he has to be able to pick up Thor's. He has to be worthy.
Right.
Come
exactly.
on. Yeah, like
no bias. Been playing him for 35 years.
Absolutely not.
Been playing the same character for 35 years. I am not biased.
And me being the one random Thor fan of our friend group, just like absolutely.
Thor's cool, man.
Yeah,
Thor's always fun
Thor.
in these games too.
Actually, Thor was very much so in my wheelhouse when I was playing the thing as well.
He's fun in this game.
And I guess one final thing here. The way that the story mode works, where you're kind of playing as the good guys and then randomly as the bad guy, threw me the fuck off. Where it's like, oh, I'm taking over. Now I'm Ultron and I'm just beating this dude's ass. Okay, sure, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
I did the part when you're playing as Thanos and you beat the shit out of Iron Man. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. It took me a little bit to follow, because again, it's not super deep story wise. It's it's obviously pretty cheesy, and I was just kind of like in it for the fun of it and just going along for the ride. Right, I liked it just because I was like, turn my brain off, enjoy myself for a couple hours. Right, like, I'm not critiquing a fucking story mode in a fucking crossover game.
Yep.
But it was like a little bit hard, and then eventually when I learned the rhythm of the game, I was like, am I Jeddah now? Am I Dante? Who you know?
Yeah, right.
Like, who am I in this one? I was like, oh, I'm supposed to win this one. Got it. Okay. Trying to predict and like see what the flow of the story is and where it's gonna go, because again, it's not super deep. It's pretty predictable once you realize what the beats are. You're like, got it, okay. And I was like, okay, why not? Let's just see where this goes. And also playing as Jeddah and Morgan in this one actually was pretty sweet.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping. I mean, we talked about it the last episode with Darkstalkers.
Yeah,
hopefully
we would like to see that come back as well too.
I would love a new Darkstalkers.
We should just have a full-on fighting game episode just to talk about all the shit that we want.
Oh my god, it'd be 7 hours long.
Yeah, I know.
I'd have to come down on a Saturday and just talk into this microphone.
Just all the way into Sunday. Exactly, just go through.
Dude,
I leave for an hour to go to church. You're still just talking to yourself at this point.
I could talk to myself for an hour about fighting games. Whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. We should do one at one point. But yeah, that's what I got for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond.
All right.
Okay. So now, Jeff, you had Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising. What'd you think?
So I really enjoyed my time with this.
Good.
I didn't get as much time as I kind of wanted to. I kind of thought I was going to get more time into it, but you know, work and life throws you curveballs. But this was fun, man. So I have some notes here, and as I was logging in and kind of playing through the game here, it kind of like plays and feels like a classy Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, it doesn't feel like there's as much, and I could be wrong because again, I didn't have that much time into it. There wasn't as much crazy shit in this game. It kind of felt a little bit more honest, definitely more grounded than a lot of the other games of this nature.
Yeah.
It definitely did feel like a lot of Dragon Ball Fighters, with the way that like you have like the optional modes, you have like the lobby system where you have like the chibi avatar and you can interact with different stuff in the lobby.
Does it as well too.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. I dug it a lot. Like, I dug the presentation of the game. I thought that was really well done. Again, kind of brought me back to Dragon Ball Fighters, but it's like, again, like I had to wear a collared shirt to Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay,
I couldn't just show up in a fucking sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
Yeah,
like I had to dress up for this for Granblue.
Mustard stains all over the place. Yeah,
except for the character designs, because the character designs are fucking horny.
Yeah, they are very much.
And I cannot play this game in front of my family. So that is kind of what also kind of contributed to me not being able to play as much, because normally, like a normal fight, not a normal fighting game, but like another fighting game of that sort, like I could play at home. I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
For the most part. This I cannot.
The winning screens, ending screens. Yeah, there's a lot of fan service in there.
Everybody's boobily bouncing, and there's a lot of skin. There's a lot of the chick with the armpits are all out, and that's a whole nother can of worms that the internet really loved. Just a lot of characters that are very fan servicey. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that detracts from my ability to play this game more.
Okay, got it.
I forgot that this was a Cygames game,
Mhm.
so when I saw all the Uma Musume lobby characters, I was
Yes.
like, "Yo!"
Gold ship was every lobby that I was in. I am also gold ship, by the way.
I was like, "Am I about to spend $13 on this fighting game just to have a Silent Suzuka avatar?" Because you have to buy all 4 of the girls. You can't just buy one of them. Of course.
you get the I think you get gold ship for free. I think that's like what it was.
Oh, was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Because I had gold ship already, but in my
I would have done
in my
that.
different
I would
mods,
have just been
didn't pay
gold
for
chip.
it.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I will say that so for a beginner trying to get into this game and not really playing a ton of stuff like it, it's very beginner friendly in the
Yes.
regard of what the game tells you in the guides. It's not just it's kind of like Street Fighter 6 does this,
Yeah.
where it doesn't just give you the moves, it tells you when to use the moves in practical situations.
Yeah.
And it'll help you kind of tell you when you should use this combo when you're doing the trials and all of that. So I did enjoy that. Like I did really appreciate that. I was stuck between a few different characters. So like I liked Percival because he was kind of like, so I found this Reddit post that talked about what every character kind of is compared to.
Mm-hmm.
I started with Percival. Basically, he's not Jin Kisaragi, Kai Kisuke with Flame Carpet.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, this is pretty cool. Like I've never played Dormammu like that. So I was like, okay, I got Flame Carpet. You could do setups in the corner and all that. I thought that was pretty cool. I also like Soares because he was like
Soares is my dude.
Soares is fucking cool as hell. Basically felt like Mr. Karate.
Yes.
Felt like Ryo, Mr. Karate,
Yeah,
kind of like the Sakazaki characters from SNK. But also kind of silly.
Yes.
Too, on top of that. So I dug him. But I ended up going with Siegfried.
Oh,
I liked
you're Siegfried player. Okay.
I liked Siegfried. I liked his normals. I liked his like 6-6, his dash moves basically.
Yeah.
I thought were really cool. And
it's good too.
Yeah, it depends on what part of the world you're in. Basically says that like the Japanese players don't think as highly of him as the American and European players. So when I looked at the tier list and I was like, all right, so who am I actually going to play as? Because who's good?
Yeah.
And I saw him near the top. I was like,
on both sides,
just in Europe,
just Western. Okay.
Yeah, just on the Western tier list. I was like, all right, I'll go with him. And it was good. Like it was fun to get on there. There are still ranked matches available. You can still play people in like B rank, C rank. The game is hilarious. I played a guy in C with 1,500 games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if it was like an alt or if he was just ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this game.
Because I was just like, yo, you're playing 1,500 games and you're still. I got to be in 11 games.
Yeah.
And you're 1,500 games and you're in C.
Yeah, like kind of like how I got placed into Plat 4 with Marisa in Street Fighter 6. I was like, oh, in 10 games I'm already in Plat. Sick, you know what I mean?
Right. And like I beat the shit out of that guy. Yeah. So I was like, well, it's probably the latter of no, you're probably just ass.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
It was having fun.
It was right. It was crazy that I was still finding ranked games at my level and like during the middle of the day too.
Oh yeah, no. So I remember we talked about this offline where you mentioned that you're surprised you could find a match really easily on this in comparison to me struggling to find a match. And I was like, yeah, no, this game's absolutely not dead. Like this game had a revival again when the game got This is technically a sequel.
Yeah.
When it got released, like the game, like a lot of people came back to the game because they didn't really vibe with the first Versus game.
Yep.
So this is the one that's like the long standing now. This is the Strive. This is the Street Fighter 6. Where it's like, oh no, people are gonna stick with this for a bit now.
Yeah, and they just announced something new as of like last night.
Yeah.
So you're getting a new character. You're getting a new update. It's like 2.3.6 or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
So you're getting another new character into this game. I didn't mess with any of the DLC characters. But yeah, like I was just kind of like, I found my character. I'm going to do the trials. I'm going to grind. I'm going to get some combos. I'm going to watch some videos. I'm going to play some ranked. It was fun.
Yeah.
I had a really great time.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I had a really good time. Again, it's something that I would have to play, kind of alone, but like it's fun. I have no problems firing this back up again. Netcode was good.
Yeah.
I only ran into like one laggy guy.
Yeah.
It might have been the 1,500 guy in C.
Maybe.
It might have been him.
Maybe that's why he's in C.
That's probably why.
He might be a god, but he's just really lagging really hard.
The McDonald's Wi-Fi is not his friend right now.
Dude.
Yeah, and I thought it was great. I didn't mess with the story or anything like that because I figured my motivations and your motivations are kind of different when it comes to fighting games.
Yeah.
Because like And especially in your case where finding games was a little difficult, and then when you found games, it was killers.
Yeah.
So like when I went onto those lobbies, it was anywhere from B to like grandmaster ranks.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw everybody in those lobbies playing, and I was like, "Wow, okay, so this game is serious." Like,
Absolutely.
and this game has some serious staying power. I never doubted it
Mm-hmm.
because it's been on Evo on every main stage
Yeah.
basically since it's been
It
out.
has pull. It absolutely
Yeah.
has pull and has staying power.
And that's kind of why I was like into this, because that when we talked about it, I was like, "Yeah, I'm really into this. Like, I want to play this." Because it's had like you said, it's had so much staying power
Mhm.
and things like that. And I'm happy I got a chance to play it. I'm happy I got a chance to, see what the hype was all about. And it's fun.
Yeah,
So I have
cool.
no doubts. I have no problems firing this up again when everybody's out of the house. Um,
Yeah, again, have to play this in the corner of the room, turn your screen away
I'm,
from
I'm
everybody
already
else.
in the corner of the room. There's nothing I can do. I just have to hope nobody's home.
Yeah.
That's it.
So one of the things I wanted to bring up was because we've had a discussion. I want to say like a year ago when I even brought up the idea of Granblue Fantasy Versus
Right.
to the group, because I remember people not being fans of the idea of the directionless or the direction inputs for specials.
Right. I get it.
And I remember I did a bad job to be fair explaining it to you beforehand. Again, this is probably like a year ago. We never talked about it on the podcast technically before then. Did it make more sense now when you actually got your hands on it?
Yeah. I mean, it's just easy inputs. Like you have like an
Yeah.
easy input button, and then you can just do like forward and I forget the actual button S,
Just yeah,
C, I
S
don't know,
for special, I guess essentially, yeah.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it would like the moves would come out automatically.
And then the specials or the EX versions of them are usually done using your heavy, and that'll
Yeah.
that'll make and that's what makes your ability go on cooldown, which is through me. I remember like that was your
Yep.
initial initial pain point of being like, oh, you're telling me that if I whiff an anti-air EX, I can't use it again. And I was
Right.
like, oh, you can. You just have to manually do it now at this point, which is like, okay, that gets rid of the quick input essentially with it.
Not even that. No.
No.
All of your moves have cooldowns.
Yeah, they do.
And if you like I would throw an EX fireball.
Yeah.
And then want to throw a regular fireball.
Yeah.
Can't
It's
throw a regular
locked out. Yeah,
fireball.
it's locked out,
Because
yeah.
you're on cooldown.
Yeah.
So it's like fuck. So now I gotta combine.
That was me speaking the first time,
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
like, okay, oh, then you can still throw it. Like, no, technically, once you throw out the EX, you lock out that ability for 3 seconds for them.
Yeah.
They're not super long, but it's enough that like obviously you're like, it's a gamble. You
Yep.
have to know for sure you're throwing this out at the right time and not
Mhm.
gonna get punished
Yep.
for it.
And it's like, damn, now I gotta remember DPS rotations, like World of Warcraft. I gotta have the internal timer in the back of my head, and I gotta play the fighting game.
Yeah.
So
Which I think like does bring in some cool shit with this fighting game
agree.
in general. So like, for me, I now that I've been, because I fall in and out of this game
Right.
pretty often. I mean, to be fair, the game's still going, so it's like, okay, I can like leave and come back whenever I'm just in the mood for it, right? Because it's not a dead game. Like I don't have to worry about the player base just slowly diminishing over time, and like, no, I can't find a game, right? No, the game is still very much so alive. Where me and my boys will just be like, hey, you want to play some versus? Sure, I haven't
Yeah.
touched it in like 2 months. We'll just hop back in, all of us start ass again. It was like, and then like by 20 matches in, we're like, oh, we're getting fucking saucy again. We got the fucking shit rolling, right? So like in terms of the game again, like being like relatively like grounded or honest, essentially is the term we've used. It is like a very beginner friendly game because there's not a lot of shit that throws at you right
Right.
off the bat, and 10% bonus for the manual inputs only neutral. Anything that's canceled into it doesn't really matter anyway. And guess what? You're using most of the time in combos. Your fireballs will be like in neutral out of nowhere.
Or anti-airs, yeah.
Or anti-airs. So it's like, okay, cool. You get a little bonus if you do them that way. But I ended up finding out that like a lot of the pro players, the high level players, actually, because you have the option to disable manual inputs in this game, which is like, oh, okay, that's kind of a cool thing. In the fact that like it comes down to the point that like even if you do the simple inputs, you're not really like you're not like looking at like modern Street Fighter 6 versus classic controls, right? Where like there are some high level modern players, absolutely there are, but you know in the back of your mind is like, you're giving up a lot to be able to use that. Here it's like, no, you're not super penalized, so a newbie can play this against somebody who's been playing fighting games for their entire fucking life.
It also doesn't help that you have the Scarlet M in the top right corner of your screen in Street Fighter Versus.
It's almost like a mark of shame, a little bit, yeah. Like
it is.
We're being elitist, but we're like I learned, so like
right,
yeah. But like in terms of like you said like the friendliness of the game early on, I think this is probably one of my favorite tutorials that I've ever experienced.
Yes. It's all good.
as you mentioned before, like it tells you how to use it, the situation you're supposed to be using
Yep.
it in, and also like you have the option to just repeat the trial and just keep doing it over and over and over again until you move on manually. And it tells you like, yeah, this is your bread and butter combo. This is in the corner. This
Yep.
is you just need raw damage. Here you go. You know.
Yep.
And in regards to the story mode, because again, kind of like that's what I was like looking for, and I'm kind of understanding now. Like people do look for story mode because they're not. There are people who play fighting games who are not sweaty like us.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yep,
I'm
yep.
considering myself in the sweaty department because I want to play against people online. That's the only reason why I play fighting games. But good that there's content available, right? And each individual person does have a pretty solid story mode, from my understanding. Like I played through a couple. Like again, Soares is like my dude. So like every character has that story mode. It's pretty fun. Just a little bit of story bits, and because again, the reason why they made this game is because it was meant to be easy for newcomers to come into the world of Granblue in the
Yep,
first place.
exactly.
Because there's obviously established lore that we're not going to get because we don't have the fucking mobile game.
Yep. Yep. That was my thought too. I was like, damn, I would play the mobile game if I could. But so like there's like an RPG coming.
Another one, yeah.
I think so.
Or
like
there's
there's
an
like
update. I think it's an update or
a big update.
Because the first one already came out before Relink.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like just some like little bit of background bits and story and like lore bits for everybody. When you were kind of messing around with all the different characters, did you like? Are there archetypes that you look for specifically when you play fighting games? Because I obviously know who your characters are when we play together, but like for everybody else to know.
Usually I'm boring and it's just like the main protagonist.
Find the showdown.
But like I also went into this kind of like I don't want to play that guy.
Yeah, okay.
So like for a lot of it, it's also like look, it's feel too.
Aesthetic, okay.
I liked Siegfried because he had big buttons. Like his standing heavy was really good.
Yeah.
His dash medium was like kind of like fucked up because it's a very fast move that hits low.
Yeah.
And he has like a big sword and he hits you at your ankles basically.
Yeah, it's a bit disjointed as well on top of it.
So what I would end up doing to finish rounds a lot of times was like I'd back off a little bit, have somebody start to like charge me, and then just real fast like 6-6-M, and just snipe them at their ankles and get that final hit, and then that was it. But a lot of times, I mean, I was playing in like CB ranks, so like a lot of the times they would just run into my fucking standing heavy, and then that's like I would do like quarter circle back. Or like whatever, I don't know, whatever move I'm supposed to combo off of that is, right? For like free damage all the time because these people would just run into my shit because they would just start forward dashing, just like a Street Fighter though.
Yeah.
Everybody starts with drive rush.
Yeah.
So you just do a move that beats drive rush.
Exactly.
And in this, everybody starts running at you.
Yeah.
So you just do something that beats run.
So I have the question actually speaking was because the fact that this does have running in it. Is this anything at all like SNK games?
Not really,
no,
because you don't have short hop, which is like the biggest thing about SNK fighters too. It's running and short hop.
Got it. Okay.
So like short hop lets you do like jumping jumping moves close to the ground. So I don't know if City of the Wolves has short hop. But I know like all the SNK grooves in CVS2 have it. Garo has it. KOF has it. Where basically you just do like a little short hop. And then
aerial's low, basically.
Right. Not even. It's just like you're low to the ground, so it interacts with moves differently. So that's kind of like the big thing. I don't think this feels much like it feels more like an SNK fighter than Street Fighter. But that's not saying much.
Yeah. Okay. So like, this is like a relatively honest fighting game to throw out there for anybody. Who would you recommend this to? If someone's looking to get into fighting games,
I think anybody that wants to play fighting games, because I think this is kind of like a really, I don't want to call it simple in a derogatory sense, but it is rather straightforward.
Yeah, because there was that one game we played forever ago where everyone had chunks of health in that fight, in their fighting, like Rising Impact or something. Not Rising Impact. What the hell was it called? Where like all the specials were like no matter what, if you get hit once, you lose a chunk of your health bar. Remember there were like little pips for everyone's health bar. Do you remember that game? Where that was meant to be like the baby's first fighting game.
Fantasy Strike?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think that might be it actually. But yeah, because like, they had all the archetypes of the characters,
right?
But every hit they land is just like, oh, one of the pips of your health is gone.
Okay.
Versus obviously the health bar being kind of variable depending on how much damage you're getting hit and so forth. Like I think this is like when I recommend this to is people who are looking for something a little bit different from Street Fighter. That's how I kind of like how I recommended this for.
This is for anybody.
Yeah,
I think this is a very accessible fighting game for anybody that wants to learn and wants to play a fighting game.
Yeah,
in general,
and it still gets deep.
Right, exactly. There's a ton to learn. There are a ton of like 20-minute tutorial videos that you can watch on your character if you want to get into this. Or you can just use simple motions.
There are
Use
auto combos in this game as well too.
right, there's auto combos. I mean, there's a ton of simplicity in this game that can help you get to that point faster than most other games.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's perfect for anybody.
Okay.
Really, I
Nice.
think it's great. I think it's a great first fighting game for anybody. Just probably not children
Yeah.
because it's very horny.
It is,
Well,
it is very horny.
I mean, a lot of fighting games are very horny now.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Street Fighter's very horny.
especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now. We talked about it before, but the new swimsuit costumes that came out.
Right.
Peak.
Horny.
Peak.
Horny. Yeah, no, like I said, like I had a lot of fun. It's something that I want to play more of because I feel like I can get into it. I think it's good for anybody who is interested in a fighting game but doesn't want to jump into like Street Fighter
super deep
or
pool.
Tekken
Yeah.
or these established games that
Legacy
people
that almost require legacy knowledge.
right. That's the thing is it's a lot of legacy knowledge. This doesn't. I don't. It probably does have a lot.
Yeah, the
But
core. I mean, the core game. I mean, because technically the first game was Versus, so this is
Right.
only the second game of the
Yeah.
series, and like the quote unquote legacy knowledge at this point is just basic how to play a fighting game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's that's why I think
I
that
get it.
possibly it could be a little more generous in that
no, yeah,
case.
I dig it. I dug it completely. Like I said.
Anything you were unhappy with this game, aside from the horny?
I wasn't unhappy about
Well,
the
unhappy,
horny. I
you
was just
said-
inconvenienced.
You had to be
by
you
the
had to be
horny.
you had to be careful when you
Yeah,
were playing when you
I
were
was
playing it.
inconvenienced by the horny, not unhappy about
Yeah,
the horny. Something I was unhappy about. Not being able to beat the shit out of everybody the way I wanted to because I just wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So really, the game did nothing wrong. It's just like I just was like I kept forgetting my combos. I
Okay.
kept forgetting things. It would be like I would beat in the moment, and then I would just default to like Magic Series, and then like
Yeah.
quarter circle back and attack.
Yeah. Like plink again. Like what I was saying for like MVCI. Like plink 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 special.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That was kind of it. What else? What else? What else?
My biggest thing is that I want to because in my mind because of the aesthetic, it's an anime fighter. I want to have longer combos.
Yeah, I get
But
it.
like the game itself, it's a good and a bad, right? Whereas like cool, I'm not watching a cinematic for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Of just me getting my ass beat. But like in my mind, I want to like unleash the beast when I start getting into like
Right.
into a groove kind of thing.
The cutscene supers are cool. I want to see them more.
Yeah. Okay.
But then it turns into like, and I know Dragon Ball Fighters players will know this, like
Yes.
seeing the Bardock animation
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single fucking game.
2 or 3 times in the same combo sometimes
Yeah,
too.
well, no, like 2 or 3 times in the same match. Yeah, definitely.
Or match. Sorry,
Yeah,
not combo.
like you'll get tired of it rather quickly. So it's riding that fine line. But I think when they look so cool and they're so well animated that it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to have seen a lot of like the cinematics more than just desperation on wake up. Yeah, I get it. But otherwise, that was it. Like I said, like I don't have a lot of qualms with this, man. I had fun with it.
And I have one final thing here because I'm just gonna glaze the game a little bit because
Yeah.
I like this. I like
Go
this
ahead.
much of the game. What do you think of the aesthetic of the game? I think it's probably the prettiest fighting game that I've played.
Like I said, it's like a very classy
Yeah.
fighter. Like the menus are beautiful with like the music.
Music rules in this game too.
Yeah, the music is great. The menuing is awesome.
The in-game character models I really like.
Oh yeah, everything's great. Yeah. Oh
like,
yeah,
it's
it all
probably
looks
like my
great.
opinion. Like again, like I think it's like the best looking fighting game in my opinion.
It is
It's like a personal
definitely
opinion, of course, personal taste.
a testament to hand drawn animation versus computer models.
Yeah, 3D sprites or 3D
Yeah,
character models.
Like 3D character models versus 2D sprite 2.5, I guess. D
yeah.
sprites.
Yeah.
But like there is a reason why all those old sprite based games and all those old artistic games hold up.
Yeah.
Because they're all gorgeous. So and this is another one.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you completely.
It does like a fantastic mesh of the 2D, 2.5D, and obviously full 3D rendered animation stuff.
Yep.
Because again, all the specials are in like that kind of like Budokai / Naruto Ninja Storm. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what the fuck
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that? Like,
Wait, what do you mean he summoned a dragon? What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
like, yeah. So again, I'm a bit of a glaze here at the end, but like I really like the way this game looks. That's kind of like one of the biggest things was like why I was interested in even playing it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I mean, part of the draw for like a fighting game is like, okay, does it look cool? You know what I mean? Do the combos look cool? Does it look pretty? Anything to just grab your attention, obviously, right? Because that's how it was back in the arcades.
Exactly.
Like something has to catch your eye, either or your ear, technically as well too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like yeah, I think like this game is like very clear to see as well too. Like obviously the hip impact stuff is like you know like oh okay yeah like I know exactly when I can actually. Perfect example. I'm very bad at hit confirms. You know this, and we've talked about this when we play together.
Yeah.
I'm super slow to react.
Yeah.
This game, because it just gives you that giant spark when you hit people, like almost Tekken 3 level spark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I can go on, turn on the sauce, let's fucking go. Like I can because the visual is very very clear.
Right.
Which again helps with like newcomers to this type of game in general. So good to hear that you enjoyed this one.
Yeah, definitely.
We did not, unfortunately, though, get to play with each other. Again, we were both insanely busy these last couple weeks. I'm prepping for PAX. We're like, when this comes out, I'm going to be at PAX.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
And we wanted to get a couple sessions in. It was like, okay, how do we do this? We want a parsec. We want to try to time it out together. And it was like, by the time I'm home from work, your wife and your son are home. So it's like, okay, we're not going to get a huge amount of window to play together.
And it's not like when I come down on Sundays, I have a lot of time because I get down late because my son has to nap before we get here. He has to nap in the car. And then I still got to do laundry and everything else. So, like, I only have a few hours. We'll figure it out. It'll go on the YouTube.
Yeah, I definitely want to record us kind of see how we feel after, like, what we've dropped into these games so far. And, like, let's see where we can go with our very minimal knowledge.
Exactly.
And to see what kind of, kind of funny shit we can get into for these ones.
It'll be fun.
We'll get into it eventually. So yeah, I guess that'll be it for this one, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in for this episode. A little bit chaotic here because we did have to cover 2 different games in like a single podcast episode.
I had fun though. I like doing this.
It's fun.
I think we should do more like this.
Yeah, let
us know if you like this.
per episode. That'd be kind of fun.
I like that.
So if you guys got to this point, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate the support from everybody. Give us a like, leave us a review, share with a friend, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care.
See ya.
But I can always find another table. It's fine. They're like $50 on eBay, right? But I want the table. That's the reason why I want the CRV.
The CRV table?
Oh, you didn't know about this?
I'm looking it up.
Okay. So Gen 1 and Gen 2 CRVs have a table that is their like trunk cover.
What?
So like you lift it up underneath. There's like that's where you store like your jack and your not your spare tire. But you know what I mean? Like extra storage, right? That thing comes out. There's legs attached to that motherfucker. That's a table, bitch.
Dude, that's crazy.
I would buy the table just by itself and just throw it into my fucking Geo. Not the point. Basically, at this point, I'm buying a table with a CRV attached to it. That's how. That is my weird tism that I want this fucking table so goddamn badly.
This is insane. I never knew this was a thing. That is insane. I love this.